Also, was that music not on loop?
No, it was not. Fuck.
It's been a minute. It's not paused, it's over.
Wait, no. I want to keep looping.
It is enabled. Now it's off.
Well, usually if it has the 1 next to it, that means it's only going to loop
That's just
once.
no.
Okay.
That's
whatever.
just the picture it uses for the emoji.
Alright. Are we all good? Rathi, you are...
I'm here-ish. Yeah, I'm ready though.
Okay. Not a ton happened last time, other than a lot of fighting in that...
We saved Pock Pock. That is a ton.
Yeah. I mean...
Pop was fine.
They decided to ignore that cave, you would have died.
No, Pop was fine. I would have figured a way out.
Either way. Puck Puck did indeed do his little backflip thing into the water, got washed away, beaten against the rocks, and almost killed within an inch of his life. He was found by someone, dragged away, and hung upside down in a cave where he witnessed other people next to him being sacrificed, or their heads being cut off and blood pouring into jars. The crew attempted to catch up, but were too late in saving Puck Puck from being dragged off. But they were able to track him down where he was located in a long, deep cave. You guys made your way down that cave, ended up finding not necessarily a torture room, but a room for collecting blood, and made work of it. Got rid of the Kuatoa that were in front of you, stopping you from getting to Puck Puck, but Puck Puck was able to free himself, I believe, from wiggling around a decent amount. And yeah, rest is pretty much history. You're able to save him. You made your way up to the upper level of the area where you're able to free what's the fuck's his name? Drawing a blank. Bupito. And also a drow that I have the name somewhere of. I don't remember what it was off the top of my head. I'll figure that out later.
Are you talking about the one that I befriended?
Yeah, the one that you basically got
Ezinar.
Yes. When you befriended and got at least a one-time assistance in the future from her. Other than that, there was a couple other Kuatoa. Ushar spoke with them briefly about what's going on, about the influence going on in Slippadoop and the spread of the Deep Father compared to the Sea Mother and things of that nature. You guys exited out of the cave and continued your way towards Slippadoop, estimated to be about an hour-ish out, where you were attacked by more Kuatoa coming from the water and directly in front of you, being flanked. As it looked like you guys were probably going to get overrun due to already using a lot of your resources and dealing with some of the beefed up Kuatoa compared to the little guys. You were saved by other Kuatoa that you were not fully aware of who they were fighting for, with or against you. But seeing as they were stabbing away at the ones that were attacking you, made the assumption that you guys were working together to some degree. After that, Pooplean was able to cast a tongue spell on himself and talk to you guys through the tongue spell. Shut up! And and was able to communicate back and forth with you guys about what's going on and what he could offer you as far as safe passage to Gracklestug, but would need assistance in dealing with his daughter in the meantime, as she has gone rogue. Not sorry, rogue, but started worshipping the Deep Father and spreading the word of the Deep. You guys kind of deliberated back and forth that you want to continue on and be the sacrifices or the willing sacrifices for this? Did you want to find your own way of, getting in there and doing your own thing? Did you just want to skip Sloop-a-Doop altogether? Went back and forth for a good amount of time to where Plane no longer, or was quickly losing interest, as this ceremony or ritual was going to be happening soon, and turned his back and walked away. But shortly after that, you guys were able to come to the decision that yes, you would just be the willing sacrifices and to come along. So while you are willing sacrifices, the plan was that when the time was right during the ritual, you would begin your assault. You guys then, you guys also took a short rest in the tunnel, which...
Your mic quality just went poopy. I don't know what you just said.
Yeah, it's kind of garbled up.
Hello.
That's weird.
Remember I was complaining about that the other day?
I didn't do anything. Let me try to reconnect.
Uh-oh.
What? Hello? Is this any better? Or is it still awkward?
It comes and goes.
Yeah, it's not
It's
bad.
not consistent. Like when you the first 3 words you said were really bad, and then immediately after it was fine. It's fine. We just might ask you to repeat stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
There might be like push to talk's easier or better. Maybe not easier, but one of those things.
Change my sensitivity. Alright, we'll try this for now. I think of what else I can... But either way, you guys took an hour rest within the tomb, or not the tomb, but the tunnel there. Fortunately, probably not the best place to stay, as there was a bunch of Deep Father worshippers there. Tons of blood and gnarly shit going on there. It was pretty spooky area. Incurred a hour-long madness, which 3 of you got paranoia, which almost worked against you, because that was part of the issue, was you didn't trust Plane in his task going forward. You're paranoid about him, which makes sense even if you weren't. Either way, though, finally followed him to Sloop-a-Doop. During the period of talking to him and your way here, that paranoia and the other ones that you guys had would have worn off by now. You don't have to worry about that level of madness anymore. Yeah. Now you have reached the gates of Sloop-a-Doop. In front of you, you see a gate going from the water to your north all the way to some rocky cliff sides that are really high up in the air to the south. Most of it you're seeing is just like netting that you use for like fishing and capturing fishes and stuff like that, woven up against stalactites along the ground. And in front of you is this netting wall. And that
Like difference between like here and like here, is there any depth difference or height difference?
Sorry, wait 1 second. I was not looking. Between where and where?
Like between this wall and this wall? Like is where we're at, like we're all now like all pretty flat?
So this stuff here is just map art. It's not actually wall. So the wall I was describing is this netted wall here.
Immersion.
Okay. And that from here to here then, is there any depth height difference?
No, this is all pretty level. Going from this way to this way, the height goes up slightly, but nothing worth freaking out about.
So we're going down slightly?
No, I mean, very minor. It's honestly not even worth mentioning.
How long have we been walking?
About an hour.
So are we still paranoid?
No. between the amount of time in the cave, the amount of time you did your combat, talked with Plane, and then made your way here, that hour would have gone by.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Why are we so worried about being these sacrifices? He seems like he's a good, upstanding citizen.
What?
You said it, not me.
I think something's still wrong with Gotham.
It doesn't matter if he can be trusted. Whatever. We're already here.
Alrighty.
It was a means to an end.
Yeah, it means to our end, probably.
As long as you stick to the plan. What? Let's not.
Are we getting sacrificed like today or tomorrow?
We're like on our way right now.
Yeah,
It's
this
like
is happening very soon.
There's no
As-
like last meal and good night's sleep before getting sacrificed.
Don't you get it? We are the last meal.
Let's talk in a place that's a bit more secure. Let us head to my shack. We will take the long way in order to avoid the Shrine of the Deep Father. So
Your shack wouldn't happen to be like 4 hours away or so, would it?
I mean, if we walk slowly, maybe 10, 15 minutes.
Understood.
And so he goes over to the netting where there's no visible like doorway or anything like that. And the other Kuatoa come alongside. Hope I don't have him on the map. Let me grab some. You see the Kuatoa kind of come over to either side, and they all just kind of lift up the net and hold it up. And he, Poopapleen ducks under and goes under it. Very obviously, there is no formal gate into this area.
Puck doesn't even have to duck.
This looks awkward.
Well, it's fine.
And
Royal entrance.
go to the Eldith is the NPCs for this. Alrighty. And
Do you see
Poopapleen.
any activity going on in the distance?
So,
Like any other?
not necessarily. Got some. Ooh.
Which direction is the shrine?
The Shrine of the Deep Father is that way, and he points over in that direction. And the Shrine of the Shrine of the Sea Mother, I keep saying Deep Mother, is this way.
So it's like west and then west by southwest. Okay.
Yep. Alrighty. We will take a longer way around to the Shrine of the Sea Mother, as that is where my hut is located. Simply because I do not wish for you to be discovered by Deep Father initiates, if possible. And Poopapleen will begin moving in this direction.
I forgot from last session, did he ask us to kill his daughter or just like stop her? Because she's the one who's like full on into this cult, right?
Yeah, that's a good point. I remember.
So he's pretty much only at this point said to stop her.
You know what
But
that means, boys? Sharpen your blades.
like he said earlier, he would like to go into more detail once in private.
Okay.
So yeah, you'll see him come over to this hut over here and peek around the corner, looking that way. Basically just being a little bit wary. Oops. somewhat big.
Does Pok Pok even count as a sacrifice?
I'm an overseer of this endeavor.
Okay.
I will not be participating in sacrifice in any way.
I'm gonna say you're kind of a small offering.
Well,
And then Plupaplene will keep going forward. The rest. As he gets here, he will step back. But, oh, make room for the school.
school.
Yep. And as you guys are making your way over to him, you'll start seeing a very large amount of Kuatoa moving together in a very straight, orderly fashion, following each other. Very, much like a school of fish would.
Thunder wave. No.
And they would disappear.
Are you sure there's no Deep Father worshippers around this area? We seem pretty obvious to not be residents of this city.
You being residents or not isn't the issue. We have different people come in and out of here fairly often as they need transportation through us. So I'm not too worried about that. I just do not wish to be stopped and questioned at the moment. Basically, if anyone looking like Glug 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 over there comes around, that is who I'd worry about. And he points to this guy here. Kind of hard to see with the icon that can move it. But the more vicious looking ones is basically the ones he's trying to avoid.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing at fucking
I'm kind of waiting to see if Rathy can get going.
I can hear again.
Okay.
Okay. Alright. So he continues on, dragging Beck along.
Sweet.
And
follow.
then, as you guys see forward into view, a very tall statue, which I'll get the exact height of in just a second. Ooh.
How dark or light is it in here? Just like dim light or?
It's pretty dark. They have no need for any kind of light. Yeah, I imagine it'd be pretty hard for you to see in here.
I'm just following the sounds of the group then.
You're vibing. Reveal some more. Connect. Hello?
No.
And
That
so,
looks like a 15-foot tall statue.
Is that the mother or the father? A bit androgynous.
it is the Da-na-na-na. Sea Mother Shrine. You're not
So
technically
big.
supposed to see that. So, as you guys come forward, you do see the Shrine of the Sea Mother ahead of you. For a description, as you guys get closer to it. And as you guys get closer to it, you will see Plupaplane quickly make his way to this hut over here inside this doorway.
Home is literally right next to the friggin' shrine.
Yep, it is.
What a sim.
But do you guys want to check out the shrine or just immediately following him? Take a second to take a look at the area.
Adam's having some second thoughts, or maybe third thoughts.
Just roll me perception checks. See how quickly you're able to perceive what you're doing.
I'd be looking
I
around.
won't roll because I
asking,
can't see anything.
Mine would have been 25, but I still had disadvantage. But I don't think I do anymore because you said that wore off.
Nah, you're good.
Big 25.
Alright,
Is that
Pok
not
Pok.
the point? Yeah, it is.
So, Pok Pok, you see a 9-foot tall statue. Its body is roughly carved from some kind of wood. You can assume it's probably from that mushroom wood that you've been finding. Some kind of wood in the shape of a humanoid female. However, its head and forearms have been severed off of it, and instead it is replaced with claws and a head of an albino crayfish. So it is a human female with claws and just a nasty looking crayfish head.
Do I know it's albino because I rolled a natural 20 even though it's made of stone?
It's not made of stone.
Oh. Or the wood fungus stuff, sorry.
Yeah. So these parts, the crayfish parts, have strands of
Like
guts.
actual-
Yeah, have strands of guts hanging out of them,
okay.
and it emits an overpowering stench, which probably wouldn't affect you too much from working in the sewers.
Yeah, it's fine.
But has a really nasty smell from it. Sitting around the shrine at its feet, you see brightly colored shells, stones, mushrooms, rotting fish are all piled up at its feet and strung around various parts of its body that it's holding up. You see
Are
4 stern Kuatoa standing around the statue, alert and on guard, while a few others are milling about that are on the wrong layer. Ah. Did I move the whole thing or no?
I was laughing at the cat.
Just right there in front of the camera.
I'm eating these pistachios, and she must really be interested in the pistachio shells.
If I approach the statue, are they gonna do anything, the guards, to me? And by that I mean I approach the statue, what happens?
Okay. This Kuatoa here would look at you and just like kind of look at you and just kind of motion towards the shrine.
Nod, and then I shuffle into my bags and pull out a bone that I had gathered previously and set it along with. So you said there were like offerings, like shells and stuff.
Yep, shells, brightly colored stones, mushrooms, rotting fish, all piled up at the statue's feet.
I'll add a bone to that, and then
He
go
looks
back.
very pleased with that offering.
Hell yeah! Plus
As much as his fucking face can be pleased.
That's his smile.
As he does that offering, he will look over to the rest of you. He kind of motions with his spear.
Does this guy live near a compost or something? This place smells like crap.
Do I have anything
What?
foul I can put down?
What?
What? I thought we were going to this guy's house. I can't see anything.
I would approach the statue, pluck a feather, and leave it at the statue's.
He looks pleased.
And also, I would like, I would also like bow graciously as I like leave, like very deep, like that,
Brown nose.
like a hippogriff.
He looks at the rest of you.
This could go a couple of ways, so I step forward,
You see his
I
eyes just
pull.
darting quickly between all 3 of you.
pull from my sack 3 undisturbed spider eggs, place them in the pile.
I'll put one of those red mushrooms down. If I can remember. What
Spider
those-
eggs he doesn't look as happy about, but he nods.
It's an offering nonetheless.
And you said you're gonna give him a mushroom?
One of the red mushrooms.
It's the stun mushroom. Everyone gets flashbangs.
He it's the kind of same deal. He'll nod, like not as happy.
Oh yeah, what was that mushroom that exploded? Was that
Uh,
the red, orange, beige one?
Yes. You don't know the name of it.
Orange and red stripes.
And I have a cap and stalk. Was it?
Mhm.
Do we recall if it was one that had been? I think I had.
So there was
So what I
2
wrote
total.
down. Yeah, what I wrote down is the toadstool, red, orange, beige, sample. I've got the cap and stalk.
Like one of them you were basically able to recover, but its cap, while still there, was caved in from it blowing up.
Sad.
But not okay.
It's not intact as far as.
So I don't have one that could potentially be like a loaded weapon.
No.
Damn. Okay.
Unless you can, design some bioterrorism weapon. with it.
I was thinking about trying to plant that there and use it to our advantage.
Holy
But yeah.
shit. Fucking take out the entire Kuatoa race because this is the only town with Kuatoa in all the Underdark.
What was in a big explosion?
I mean, if you
No,
plant
just
it and they just start spreading and spreading and spreading.
God is secretly a fucking terrorist.
I thought you were a pacifist.
What's the red one I had?
It's a
Isn't that the same
distraction
thing? The
tool.
fire lichen?
Webcams are my. Sorry.
Yeah, isn't that what I put down? A fire lichen or whatever.
Fuck, I don't remember the names of all these things.
That's the pale
Come
orange
on.
white color. I wrote
God.
red, but some kind of red mushroom. Or maybe that's the one with the weird spores.
I have a pristine
So
red
you
mushroom.
put
That's a
the-
spicy one.
Oh, it was the
I don't remember
spicy
if
one.
you
Yeah.
identified the spicy one, like what it actually is.
Now we know it's something.
So the red one is a pale reddish color. It's the one that you can grind down for like a paste and stuff like that. Oh, Jim Jar told you about it. It's a fire lichen.
Lichen? Is it
Yeah.
pronounced lichen?
Lichen lichen.
Yes.
You
A
probably
werewolf and that.
what?
Lichen is like lycanthropy.
Oh, my
Spelled.
cat wants out of my room. Here, back 1 second.
Take Soul's cat with it.
Yeah. Take her out.
Did Beck sacrifice anything?
No, oh, I typed it
Can't
out. But
see.
yeah, I'm just kind of.
Okay.
My cat like stands too close to the door every time, so when I
Oh,
open
give
it,
me a
just
piece of that,
smacks her a little bit.
moss.
What moss? What are you talking about?
Small piece of the ration. I don't have anything else to give these people.
You literally give it a rock and they'd be happy.
All right, I'll take one of the arrows I picked up, break it in half, and then.
Oh hell yeah, they're happy about that. Hell yeah.
Metagame. God intervened. I guess he is a paladin.
I'm just basically after all the shit I described. There's freaking
They
dead
want the
fish
broken
laying there.
fish.
Yeah, they
Okay.
they're kind of just like scavengers. They just like kind of anything that can be used or not used. They're just kind of like junk.
Now the real question: can we tell whose offering they liked more?
Roll me perception or insight. Insight.
It's
maybe?
gotta be either me
Yeah, I
or
think insight would make more sense.
Yeah.
me or Rooney.
What'd you give him again? Pock.
A
Oh,
bone.
yeah, you have no idea. But based on just the quick in and out, the mushrooms, they were less. The mushroom and the egg, not rotten, completely intact. They weren't as happy about. But they still accepted it with open arms. Alright.
Really, I was hoping that they liked my feather more than Pock Pock's bone.
Used, not well kept feather. They probably were okay with that. And God damn it, I'm moving the map again. I'm getting rid of some tokens because I got duplicates. Alrighty. So you guys did your offerings. Plupapleen is up in his shack. Glug Glug followed shortly after him, after watching you guys properly giving your stuff. Oh, there's two of them.
Oh, shit.
And Plupapleen motions you in from the doorway. And these shacks, they're built of a combination of different things. They're somewhat dug into stalagmites, but also have rocky surfaces, wooden surfaces, of walls going around. A lot of stuff here doesn't necessarily go to waste, so pieces of just like broken wood and things that you just normally like put into a scrap pile are instead being used as like roofing and stuff like that, just lightly put together and stuff. And in that regard, I guess I should have explained this when you first came in, but a lot of these different shacks are built in this similar way, very crudely just put together with different scraps of wood. Nothing too professionally made here. You'll notice that a lot of the smaller buildings are actually above the bigger buildings and are all linked together with different crude bridges going from one to the other to the other. And there's just seems like a lot of the normal, I won't say normal looking Kuatoa, but a lot of the more fishier looking ones seem to inhabit the areas on top of them, while the ones like Plupaplane and the Minotaurs or Monitors seem to inhabit the lower ones. Any questions? I know that was kind of crudely described.
I would ask Plupupleen. So when you're on the bottom, does that mean you're at the bottom of the totem pole in society, or?
Oh, being at the bottom means that you're closer to the water.
Oh, because I just assumed that when the people above you go to the bathroom, it just comes through your ceiling.
No. They go into the lake.
Oh.
So
They're
don't
not
go
just
swimming.
up here shitting in their bed, Otto.
I mean, no indoor plumbing? So they're going where they get their food from?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Dark Lake. But yeah, being in the bottom is the higher class, because you are closer to the ground, which means you're closer to the water. Lower class.
You said-
above.
You said that the house was like made of all like a bunch of scavenged material, right?
Yeah, just stuff that you would normally just be throwing into just a pile of scraps, are instead being used to build their houses. And they're well put together. It's just not very like, here are 2x4s all slabbed together. It's just like, oh, here's this broken piece of wood. It's stuck in this very particular place that's holding really, really well.
Rooney is just super impressed because he just likes all of these little like knickknacks and like and thingamabobs, and the fact they're all put together in such a way he'd find very impressive, and he would tell them that.
Basically, very good craftsmanship, but not very nice to look at.
It looks like a very nice nest.
Yeah,
So.
that'd actually be a good way to put it. Like a Kuatoa's nest. It's almost like beaver dams would kind of be a good way to think about it too. Yeah, so he invites you in as his guest. As you look in there, there is, there's like a closet, table, stuff like that. I don't have specific maps for this by any means, but just typical furniture, all carved out of the Zerka wood that you would be familiar with at this point. There is a table with a bunch of different offerings that Plane probably gives to the offering or to the shrine every once in a great while. And you see a couple of potions and stuff on there on this side table. That's about it.
Potions. Like, describe those. Like, what do they look like?
You see 2 red in color potions in one. I guess it'd be like a light blue. You can almost assume that's just water in there. Roll me perception. Okay. To a person just glancing over, it might have just looked like just water scooped up from the Dark Lake and corked. But to you, it definitely has more of a blue color and not just a watery color. That makes sense.
Wow, God lied to us.
Basically, it's
What
not
do we
just
got?
water.
Potions. I
What's
love
that?
potions. Potions, I love potions.
And he's like, oh, and he's like, catches you looking at him. There's a couple potions of healing. That one there, I'm not too sure. Pointing at the blue one. That one floated up a long while ago.
Well, we're gonna be here for a few minutes, so I can tell you what it is.
Yeah, I mean, sure. Go right ahead.
I'll just sort of take it to the side and cast Identify as a ritual, I guess, while they're kind of chatting or whatever.
Okay. So, as you guys make yourselves at home within his little hut here, he does start going into detail about his plan, which unfortunately doesn't have a lot of detail. Basically, what he talks about is his plan is they will basically hold off the other Kuatoa in the surrounding area, while you guys, the heroes in this endeavor, will take out his daughter.
What exactly do you mean by take out? Like, do you want her permanently gone or just restrained?
She's far too gone to the dark side, Beck. You should know this.
As much as it
That works for me.
as much as it pains me to say, she unfortunately has gone too far, as your little friend here has said. You must be whatever means necessary. If she can be incapacitated without the Lee Force, then eventually we can turn her back into the loving daughter that she once was. But if the only solution is to remove her, I would not hold that against you.
Can I insight that just to see if that is if he is being truthful? Because I mean, losing a daughter seems like it would be. I guess like it would depend on this culture. If the culture is not so clingy to offspring,
They have fish brains.
yeah. So-
You'd also remember that she basically disowned herself from his family. She won't even call him his father anymore. She'll call him by his real name, or his
Got it.
given name.
Yeah, I think I missed part of it. I was purposely like not I don't want to say not paying attention, but I was
No, you're good.
omitting key details because I was being insane.
You're good.
Or not insane. It was being, what is the word?
Paranoid.
Paranoid. There you go.
Um, But yeah, with your insight check, you believe he's telling the truth. He seems to be okay either way. Obviously, he probably has a little bit of preferably like, hey, don't kill her, but what kind of needs to get done needs to get done. A lot of people are dying. He would explain to you what I was kind of metagaming towards earlier. This is pretty much the only Kuatoa that exists, is this town. So having Kuatoa having their lives sacrificed one after another is not good for this town, as they have less than 1,000 Kuatoa here.
So how does this work? Or we just march on up there and say, we're here for the sacrifice, and then you'll jump the followers? Or what do we have to do?
We're ready to die. Here we are. Nothing suspicious at all.
We
Something
will
like that.
we will approach the Shrine of the Deep Father, and I will announce to my daughter that you are the willing sacrifices that I was able to gather in the light of the Deep Father. And that since you are willing, that should hopefully gain my daughter's favor in her trust in during the ritual, that she will have a opening back. At that time,
How worthy do you think she is of you kind of trying to make amends?
I think, and he's kind of thinking hard on this, but he says, I think offerings such as yourselves, being willing offerings for the Deep Father, if you guys actually, pleaded your case that you wanted to be sacrificed to your Deep Father, I think she would absolutely adore that. And that should get me in her good favors. Honestly, pretty easily. Pretty simple.
Never mind. Nothing.
When will this take place? I'm assuming very soon, or
There will soon. I am also assuming. There will be a convoy, or I don't want to say convoy, but a group of Kuatoa that will be gathering and ringing their bells, telling us to gather at the shrine. And as he is talking about this, Blue Glug Gog will step forward and he will say something in Undercommon that you guys can't say or can't hear, and you're just talking back to Poo Plane, and he would talk back in Undercommon. You're not completely sure what he's saying, and he would eventually step out and walk away. And you would go to see Poo Plane just kind of sigh.
What
Has it
was
been
that about?
10 minutes?
Yeah, it's been more than 10 minutes.
Oh, okay.
You would have identified that as a potion of water breathing.
No. Well, this is an interesting potion. It might be useful for one of us, though probably less useful for you, Blue Clean.
What is it?
It allows somebody to breathe underwater.
Can't do that?
No.
Oh. I'm gonna say, what's the point of that potion? Why does it even exist? The potion of breathing air.
Does that exist? I wonder.
I mean, if there's a potion of breathing water.
I was
I would
only
ask
sort of
him what
listening to
he-
the plan while identifying this. It sounds like the plan is that there is no plan. We're just gonna walk up there and wing it?
You will await my signal. I will cast a spell of Hold Person on her. And that is when you may do what you need to do. That is simply all it needs to be. And in that meantime, while you are dealing with her, my Kuatoa and hopefully my whip, who just stepped out, will defend the back lines from the Deep Father followers.
what of the rest of our party who are not as... They're not combatants like our small group here. Where will they be during all of this?
The more the merrier in this case, so I'd hope they'd be able to come with us. I can equip them with basic weapons, spears more than anything, what we primarily use here. And I think...
One of them is a mushroom.
Okay. Can he do anything?
No, not really. He's kind of useless. The perfect sacrifice.
He's quite useful in letting us speak to others, but I wouldn't want him near a fight.
Really? How does that work?
He does a little shake, and his spores allow us to communicate with each other, or with others who we normally can't understand.
Oh, I've been wasting my spell slots casting tongues this entire time?
Pretty
you're
much,
doing
yeah.
great. Keep it up.
Oh well. Alright. I mean, while we have a little bit of time here, is there anything you guys need? Anything I could supply you with? I'll make sure to get spears in hand on everyone that can wield them. Your mushroom friend, maybe you should just lay low. I see he's in a bucket right now. Barely even noticed he was there.
You said there was health potions laying around somewhere?
Oh,
Did someone say that?
it's a couple on the table
It
over
is,
there.
yeah.
I'll point to those and be like, those could be helpful if we're intending to fight her.
Very well. It's the least I could offer you for helping me in this sticky situation. And he nods. I think you're good to take them.
I will. How many are there?
2. And it's just the basic healing potion.
I will keep one and hand another to Rooney.
I will squawk approvingly.
The fuck?
But anything else you may need? Any equipment or anything that I could potentially get for you? Again, we are fairly self-sufficient here, so we only have, things that we would naturally use just to get by day, but...
Hmm. I don't know what else could be of use unless someone else has ideas.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else.
Yeah. The only thing I'm trying to think of, because right now, like, I'm completely tapped out, so I'm trying to think of all of the various things I've picked up, like mushrooms and other ingredients and such, to see if any of them could perhaps be toxic and or like produce some sort of like fume or smoke when kindled, or anything that could be used as like a distraction device.
Hmm.
I use the filter of love on Pok Pok.
What's that?
It's roofies.
Yeah, pretty much.
But didn't you hear they want to be closer to the ground? It's useless here.
The blue stock that you hold, which is the flower-like substance, might be able to catch where he's getting at here, but it has been told or seen that sometimes the very small spores and flowery substance of the mushroom can sometimes be ignited, causing a very bright flash, sometimes if it's dense enough, explosions. But it would need a good amount of setup, and a lot of it, yeah.
Alright. Looking at the spider eggs that I have, do they look like they're nearing maturity?
No, actually it's been too
It's
long.
been
It's actually
one
been a while.
night.
No, it's been a while, because you got the spider eggs and you traveled through the forest for multiple days. But, no.
If it's been 2 days at most, we've only rested at
Well,
most twice.
we did like a skip forward scene.
Yeah. Basically, when you guys took the shortcut through the fires, the purple misty area, I speed ran you guys through a few days.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Missed that. Got it. Okay, yes, they're a week or so mature.
Yep. So it's been a few days. You haven't really noticed any change in them, but definitely interesting to keep up on.
I guess what I know just from nature, I am trained in nature. No, I'm not trained in nature, so maybe just from experience, would I know that they could still hatch being away from any sort of mother? I mean, I don't think they need to, but I think once they hatch, they do their thing.
Google some spider facts.
I know.
Thinking of what spider facts I should make up on my own right now, because it's not like they're spider eggs from the surface. These are deep, dark, underdark spiders. So I would say you're not super knowledgeable. You know, maybe on the surface, so spider eggs might take a couple weeks to hatch. But it's not like you felt them moving around or anything in your hand. So,
Right.
unsure as of yet.
Well, I will be largely useless in this combat, but I will do what I can.
I guess you would have picked up on when you stabbed one through the stick and cooked one up and gave it to Pok Pok. When you stabbed through it, it was much more of a gooey substance and not like a solid thing inside of it that you stabbed through. So,
Okay.
and it's been about, less than a week since then.
Alright.
Alright. So, as you guys continue your talks of what you would like to do going forward, or not what you'd like to do, but just any equipment needs or anything like that. As you guys talk, a couple of people. There you go. Oh, there he is. You see a group of Kuatoa, or you hear actually more here, a bell ringing in the distance, and as you guys stand there, you hear it getting closer and closer. What do you guys do as you hear this bell?
Guess I'd probably just stand up and be like, well, I'm assuming that's the bell he told us about, so we should probably get ready.
Okay.
Just do a quick check and make sure I have my arcane focus in my spellbook.
Nope, you've all been robbed.
That's it.
Lost
He's coming
it's
back.
like so assuming that we're not going to be like right up next to her when this is all going on, when we're going to be sacrificed, and when the father is going to do his thing and hold her, for the moment that I see her freeze up, I want to, if I can, ready my phase step to teleport back to her.
Damn, putting him in the fray.
So I missed the last like minute. My Discord froze, and turning off my cam apparently fixed it. So
I want to teleport back on top of her, a la
is she here?
freeze.
What's that?
Is she here?
No, not yet. Not yet.
Oh, I
We
was like,
heard the bell of the like the collecting party, or like the
Okay,
Great.
that's what I missed. I think.
yeah.
No, I was just saying that when the father goes to do hold person, that the moment that I see her kind of freeze up, I want to have a
Okay.
ready action to teleport back to her, or maybe perhaps on top of her, a la 3C4V.
What if I cling on to Beck at that moment? Will I
No.
be teleported?
I'm not doing that with this. That was just a one-time rule because of the fucking mimic getting moved.
What if I cling onto his shield?
No.
Yeah, like the picture where he's like hiding behind the shield.
What if
Yeah,
you go
that's
into his bag of holding and then pop back out?
Oh, yeah, that's a great idea.
Pockpock is pretty much a mimic in size. He can just cling on to me. He'll just bite me.
I will.
Alrighty.
You're
So you
true.
hear the cling, clang, cling, clang, cling, clang of a bell, or actually it might be more of just like a pot and spoon the way it sounds, being smacked together. And as you guys peek out the hut, you do see a group of Kuatoa. 3 of them look like the mighty strong ones, followed by a few of the weaker looking ones, all with their spears. Roll me some perception checks to see what you notice or don't
You
notice.
get sickness first.
All right.
They emit poisonous toxins.
Okay, pretty much all of you except for, Otto, even to a certain degree. You've already figured this out already, but there's not really a easy way to, or any way to differentiate between these Deep Father and Sea Mother individuals. They look very much the same, whether they're next to each other or away from each other. Which you can maybe now assume that is why Plupaplane is so adamant on you guys get his daughter, because you guys probably won't be able to tell the difference. So as they walk around, cling clang, cling clang, cling clang, they do come over to Plupaplane's hut, which you are all still gathered around or inside. And this one will step forward, and he will have his pincer staff pointed at you guys at first, because he sees, somewhat different people. And Plupaplane will. What's that?
Nothing.
Plupaplane will step forward and will talk to him in a language that you can't comprehend, unfortunately. And they will go back and forth, and this other Kuatoa will keep pointing his pincer staff to you guys individually, and it just seems like they're getting into an argument, somewhat, and then it starts to degrade, slow down a bit, and he puts his pincer staff down and kind of just stabs it into the ground. Not necessarily in, like, I would say, like, in a lot less aggression. Kind of hard to kind of gauge if he's happy or not, but seems too relaxed. He's not so angry right now. But either way, he continues. He puts the pincer staff back on his back, and he goes back to clanging his pot and pan bell, and makes his rounds back around. And I don't even know. Oh, I got Pock in here.
What?
Yeah. And now I don't even know what Kuatoas are which here. But they go. And they keep making their rounds around Sleepajut. As you hear it fade away.
Is that the sign that we need to head over to this sacrifice?
Plupaplane nods, and he describes what happened there very briefly in conversation, that he was very adamant about taking you over to the shrine to sacrifice you immediately. But I was able to convince him that you guys were indeed my sacrificial, or my willing sacrifices, and that you will be sacrificed in the ritual as a offering to my daughter. And he seemed very happy with that, due to my previous resistances on the Deep Father. And he will motion for you guys to follow. Let's go to the Deep Father Shrine. It's up here to the north.
Question.
Ah!
Rooney might wonder aloud that, hey, if we're all supposed to be allowed to worship whatever we want, why are you being forced to worship the Deep Father?
Oh, I do not wish to worship the Deep Father, the Sea Mother all the way.
Oh.
It is simply that the Deep Father's influence has gone too far, even for what I think our people would have to live through. Quite simply, if we continue at this rate, and the Deep Father was to overtake the Sea Mother, which would be fine if it was, any other god to worship. But in this case, one that sacrifices our own, already has a very small population, is something I must defend for my little town here.
I see.
Basically, it's just they're way too small numbers to sit there and sacrifice themselves to a god that they know nothing about, just came in out of nowhere. But he'll continue on. And god dang it. Oh, the Deep Father!
Let's see if it freezes.
It looks like they're squishers.
Gluglaglog would meet back up with Plupaplane, seeing as he has left his hut, and would team back up with him. He looks a bit frustrated, but he's not going to leave his buddy behind. Did your shit work again, Justin?
I'm good.
You're just not going to do it?
I'm not gonna do it. I tried.
Alright, you're good. It's not fucking up anything.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So you guys make your way up. This is going to be very crudely drawn up here, but it's fine. I will go over what's going on here. Make sure this is correct. Sorry, I'll make this better.
Hello.
Hello.
There he is.
Ahoy.
Hello.
Alright. So, as you make your way up here, you do see a shrine, and let me get the official description here. So, as you approach, you do see the altar of the Deep Father, which is the same kind of looking. It looks so. What they have on here on the map actually looks different than what's actually there. I tried to draw something a little bit different that kind of resembles what's going on, but there's a better map for it. But either way, when you approach the Deep Father's altar, you see the idol in the middle of the Deep Father consists of large hide, roughly cut in the shape of a manta ray, and it's stretched out onto cords between two separated poles. A dead splayed out manta ray is pinned to the center of the hide, and you see two dead octopuses draped across it with their tentacles pulled and pinned out fully. Their heads are tied together, and they are painted red. The idol reeks of decay, and the stone altar is sitting atop basically a grate that has rushing water underneath it. As you can see from the lake has water rush forward. Underneath this grate, you see the water rush in, basically. So, I don't know the best way to describe it. I can probably just show you here in a second. But, basically on a grate, and water is able to rush in underneath it. And near this grate, you do see a cart with the jars that you've seen before with full of blood. And you do see them being poured into this grate and over the shrine, and the blood goes down into this grate and goes into the water, staining it red. Any questions about that? That's kind of... I'm bad at, after reading it, describing it.
You're good.
Yeah. This is an altar, water getting poured on it. There is a grate underneath it with the water rushing from the lake. Basically, there's a hole under it.
Okay.
Makes sense.
You do see Kuatoa, one after another, do come up, and just like before that you've witnessed, just getting sliced, blood gets drained into the altar, and as you see, it's a lot of blood at this point, just getting drained into this altar. I'm gonna move us maps, I believe, now.
Hog.
Let me double check the map is set alright. Because as you approach, you do see, again, the pouring of the blood, the other Kuatoa getting sliced. You can assume these are willing sacrifices. They're not chained up, they're not handcuffed, they're not tied up or anything. They are bowing towards the altar. The monitors are just slicing their necks, draining blood, closing a body. Behind these other Kuatoa, you do see a dwarf-looking figure, a dark dwarf, Duragar. Among them, he is tied up, and looks like he's being held against his will. I don't have your characters on this for some reason. I thought it was...
We can drop us if you tell us where, right?
Hold on, just group up.
We already were pretty good.
Fuck, fuck, no.
But as you gather and are being brought towards the altar, you are brought towards the left side of it, as it seems a lot of the room elsewhere is being taken up by other people. NPCs are not too far behind you to the east, or to the west.
East.
And then, as you get closer, you see that while the altar itself seems to be draining into some kind of watery crevice underneath, it looks like it also breaks off into 3 points that drain into the deep lake, or to the dark lake itself. And you can see the blood staining the water as they add more and more to it. Specifically, the center platform seems to wrap around another altar of some kind that seems a little bit separated from the original Deep Father altar. And there is one person in particular standing on the altar who is actually dressed in dark black robes that have some red accents on them. This is the first person that you've seen that seems to look different than the rest of the Kuato as far as attire. And we will move.
Otto, those robes would look really cool on you.
Me? Why?
I don't know. Just moody and broody.
They probably smell at this point.
Well, you can wash.
Oh.
Okay, so as you see
I
here,
like how we're next to each other.
What does it do with the beard?
what's that?
The Jurgar, right?
Yeah,
That's
so
the guy he described as the dwarf guy.
Yep.
Dwarf.
So as you guys were approaching, you notice that these two are being sacrificed, and then shortly behind them was a Duragar who was tied up and looked like he was being held against his will, and definitely out of place. Yes, dark dwarf.
Is this why you said you recognized that token in our last session?
Yep, I did.
What the fuck? Okay.
Alrighty. And as you guys make your way up, Plupaplene would say, talk to you under his breath, and he would point towards the person towards the middle of the altar, who is actually looks quite different, in the black-clad robes with the red accents on them. No symbols or anything. It's just a generic-looking robe, and he would motion that is her. You do see these other Kuatoa that do line the rest of the ritual area. They are on their knees and they are praying out into the deep lake, or into the dark lake, deep lake. As the daughter in the middle has her hands raised, doing her ritual stuff, chanting something you can't hear. Or not that you can't hear, but you don't understand. Do any of you have, comprehend languages or anything like that?
Nope.
I'm shaking my head like my cam is on. God damn it.
Oh, fuck.
Unless they're speaking Goblin or Draconic, I don't know what they're saying.
Turns out, it's Goblin.
Let me see. Going to change the music, because this is definitely not fun time music. This should be eerie music. This might be a little loud, so you might want to turn down the bot.
I'm turning it up.
Sorry about that.
Why didn't it... Alright. So you guys approach. As you see, as I described, all the nasty things that are happening, the blood being drained. The Plupaplane's daughter will take notice of you guys and will immediately stop what she is doing and hop on over to Blue plane. And they will begin speaking in a tongue that you do not understand. Her name is not Plupoplina. I think I've given you her name.
I
Bloplipod?
don't.
Not that you could remember that because Bloplipod. It's like, duh, Bloplipod.
Stop metagaming. He didn't say anything. He was just wondering.
Either way, he would begin talking back and forth with his daughter in Underdark, or Undercommon. And they'd be going back and forth. He would wave his hand, not wave his hands, but he would motion his hand towards you guys. Obviously, probably talking about how you are willing sacrifices for this, and yada yada yada. You'd see his daughter, agreeing, like, "Oh, okay, like, going on here." Then you would see her cast a spell onto herself, and she would talk to you guys. Ah, hello there. Here you are, willing sacrifices for the Limugan.
You're
The what?
Deep Father,
got undisputed.
you don't know who the Limugan is?
That is the first I've heard this word. What is the Limugu?
Are you sure these are willing sacrifices? As he
A
talks to
limousine,
Plupoplin.
that's a fancy carriage, right?
How would they not know of the Deep Father, the Limugan?
So I was starting to talk, but I didn't realize I was muted. So I would step forward and pull out the Deep Father Bible, rather, and say, "Oh, well, of course, yes, we happen to pick this up, and I'm just overwhelmed
Oh my
by
gosh, how did
everything
you
inside
get
of it.
that?
I
Wow,
found it.
I
that is
found it.
amazing. Did you like what it said?
I absolutely. That's why I, at least, am here, and then so are my fellow companions. We thought this is a worthy cause of any to sacrifice ourselves for.
Yes, I cannot wait until we are able to eat raw flesh.
Yeah.
I love eating raw flesh.
Yeah?
Sushis and sashimis?
I just heard this was an easy way out. Had a rough life.
An easy way out. This is just the beginning. While you may not be here to witness that new beginning, you will definitely be here to, or not here to, but you will definitely be the catalyst that starts all this off. Very much appreciate what you are doing. And willfully.
I take it you don't get too many willful sacrifices.
Oh, we usually don't even give them the chance. This was a nice surprise. We will usher over to Plipupin. Well, the ritual is well underhand. We will start it very, very soon. And she'll kind of wave you guys over to the shrine down here. And you will see the Kuatoa that were with Plipupin start lining up behind you guys with their spears, prodding at your back.
What? We're willing.
Yep, they're still ushering you towards the shrine.
That's just rude. I'm having second thoughts now.
Which one of you would like to be the first? And as that's being discussed, this one just fucking... That one just gets sliced,
Hot tries
dies,
to be small at the where.
and he takes it away to get disposed of.
Like, does Otto feel like there's some kind of weird magic going on here with this contraption at all?
Roll me an Arcana check.
Or that it might be feeding?
Anyone who's wondering about magic, roll Arcana. Holy shit.
Nope.
Alright, Otto. Other than the tongue spell that the, what's her fucking name? Bloopapod cast on herself, you detect 0 magic here. They are just cutting people down, and there is 0 magic happening. Whether it be on the shrine, whether it be on this ritual orb here, there's no magic happening here.
Little cringe.
Don't be shy. Step up, step up. I will go back to my.
While
area.
Otto's like investigating the magic, he like probably accidentally steps up.
Oh,
Just like
there we go.
think. Oh, I actually think something's wrong with your ritual here.
What?
That's.
Oh, wrong fish. What? Nothing is
I mean,
wrong.
there's no. Okay. Well,
It's
I don't
exactly
sense
as
any
it was
magic.
written in the book.
Do you have the book? Can I see that?
Your friend just had it. Did
Oh, got him. Can I see the book?
I hand it to you.
Like flip through it to see if I can find this diagram or something in it.
okay? Yeah, you do flip
Really
through the.
gonna like nerd geek out about it for a bit, like seeing if there's like an actual spell.
Shouldn't you have done this before you came over here? Either way, we have plenty of sacrifices to go through and plenty of blood to give. I will continue my ritual. As she goes back to her place and begins her chanting. You can somewhat understand it because she's now speaking in tongues, and it is things along the line for we sacrifice this blood to you, the Limugan will rise once again, come to our land and give us your power. Things among those lines. General cultist, yeah, ritually bullshit. Nothing very in depth and crazy, just crazy cultist shit.
Who knows why my visa out?
That's exactly what I was thinking of.
But as Otto has determined,
Honk
there's no
off.
fucking magic happening here. This is just blood going into the barrel. And as you're standing there, another Uatoa willing sacrifice is done for and drained.
If I find the picture, I'm actually gonna like kind of walk up and down and see if they've like messed it up somehow, or
Okay.
it was just like not
So you
real magic.
flip through the pages. I won't make you do any rolls. You do see a very crude drawing. Looks like it was written by hand, probably by one of these Kuatoa. It vaguely looks similar to this, but it's not like there's any kind of incantations written next to them saying like, "Oh, this spell is going to be doing this" or anything like that.
Oh.
It's just a. This book looks like it was probably written by these Kuatoa themselves.
Unfortunate.
Is there anything you guys would like to do going forward?
Otto just
Anything
looks
else?
disappointed. He gives the book back to Gotham.
Man, I wanted to learn some blood sacrificing rituals.
It's not even real.
Trying to unlock the blood magic.
It's not even.
But
It's not even real. Slices the neck off of a Kuatoa.
Otto, you of all people should know magic isn't real.
What?
So
Is Pluploplane still with us?
Yeah, so I tried to color code a little bit, because you would be somewhat familiar with what he looks like. So Plupaplane is this
Okay.
one here with this blue circle, a little bit more normal looking fish. This one is basically his partner, his guide, or his not guide, his guard. I also marked it with a little blue dot just because you probably would know him a little bit different from the other ones. So you know these two at the very least.
But does it look like he has cast that spell? He said like the signal.
If you
We
see
would probably know.
hold person, they'd paralyze. She would stop moving. She'd stop chanting everything.
Oh, yeah.
So it has not
That's
happened yet.
just-
well, I want to try to continue my ruse and go over here and see this this Durgar getting beat up and look at him and say, "So is it everything you imagined this would be?" Believing him to be maybe a willing sacrifice, but obviously I know he's not willing.
What are you doing here? You got it. And then as he's trying to speak, the Minotaur prods him in the back with his pincer
Oh, no.
spear.
Keep safe minutes.
That's a real
Yeah.
waste of Minotaur.
Takes some damage. Or not Minotaur, freaking Monitor.
I know. It just makes me laugh.
And he stabs him as he's trying to talk and starts trying to usher him towards the altar.
What is he stabbing him with?
So it is a pincer staff. I kind of showed you guys last time, but it's very much
Okay,
just like
I
one of those
remember.
clamp things. But it does have spikes around the edges of it, so it still can be pokey proddy like a spear.
Okay, I want to continue to just kind of stick with him and observing and trying to deceive that I'm like enjoying the sight of the experience.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say deception. Okay, you're pulling off. I don't know what's wrong with you, but you gotta get us out of here. We're all
I
gonna
say,
die.
That's
do
the
I know
point, friend.
Dwarvish? I know.
Well,
Just in this case, just assume you guys can stand each other.
Oh, because well, tongues was only cast on her. I would say just try to. I would whisper under my breath, just loud enough to maybe for him to hear, and I'd say, just try to hold on, and I will.
Okay. You see this Kuatoa get its neck start to be cut open as blood starts pouring out of its neck. Yeah, but the Durgar does not respond to you. He just kind of falls silent. Not 100% sure if he heard you or not, but
Yeah.
he gets ushered closer.
well,
Does what is the lighting like here? Also.
So you are closer to the Dark Lake, which does emit its own glowing dim light. Just from the different mushrooms and stuff, just reflecting off the different surfaces in the water. So it is a decently lit area for being so close to the Dark Lake.
are they ushering the dwarf forward as if like he's next?
You could assume that.
Pop would kind of interject and be like, well, wait a second. Shouldn't you do the willing first? I mean, I feel like that should only lend more power to this great being and perhaps even sway this small man to see our ways. Saying small man, clearly when the dwarf's larger.
The monitor kind of looks at you and is, what? Like, what?
Well,
like, you know,
I was hoping that she would hear.
She is heavily distracted right now in her ritual casting. She's actually facing away from you guys and looking towards the water. As she continues to chant about blood sacrifices to the Limugan.
Yeah,
Probably.
Limugan.
I was gonna say, probably hearing Pock say that, I'd kind of step forward and like, kind of get in the dude's face and be like point to me, like I'm next, like push the dwarf away.
This is the last time we see Beck do anything.
You just see, okay. Roll me persuasion.
Yeah, I'm trying to persuade him to pick me. Ugh.
He kind of contemplates, but he already has his pincer around the dwarf, and he's like, and he just keeps going on with the dwarf, ushering him a little bit closer. Is there anything else?
I'm looking at Poopling to see if he's ready to make his move.
Yeah, I'm doing the same.
So you guys are waiting for Poo playing at this point?
Well, not even just. It sounds like they're like
I'm
trying to like signal like.
Yeah. No. So basically, I'm giving you guys a chance to set up before the combat. To meta a little bit, but it seems like unless
ready.
were you gonna say Rooney?
Yeah.
I'm nothing. I'm just kind of looking between the Rooney is kind of looking between the lady on the altar and this dwarf being molested over here.
Whoa.
All right. I actually need to get the NPCs. I forgot about them.
I'm just keeping back within arm's reach.
Yeah, and I kind of have my like hand on the hilt of my sword, like obviously, like I'm ready to go as soon as we decide to make our move.
Could I? Can you? No, never mind. I can't do that.
Sure, you can, friend.
I'm gonna fuck with them a little bit, and whenever we start, I'm gonna kind of prepare to do this, but I'm gonna fuck with them a little bit and cast dancing lights, but make it look like a humanoid that's out like under the water a little bit.
Nice.
Okay.
That's awesome.
And like just slowly move it towards the edge and see if we can cause a little panic with dancing lights, if you'll allow it. It does let you do that. I
It
think.
might embolden them.
It's finally working.
Okay. So you're gonna do that right around when the combat starts, basically.
Yeah.
All right. Gotta get myself ready here.
Uh-oh.
Jeez.
This is the part when the battle starts and all the like lesser characters run onto the battle in the RPG.
And die. Oh,
Oh, well, maybe.
You.
I have no idea how we've kept so many of them alive.
We've
Because
lost
I
like
haven't
half
killed
of
him.
them.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, a couple have ran away. I think one died, but then you gained one.
look, the ones that ran away that was a net gain.
Topsy and turvy.
Yeah, they might have been freaking the best combatants you had. You just never
That's fine.
interacted.
Spies.
Don't want.
Okay. We are almost ready. Let me clear out the music.
Oh.
Oh. Bro. Alrighty. Play that. So as you guys watch this ritual go,
Easy.
as everyone around you is being sacrificed for their blood, going into the lake, as NPCs watch on in horror, as you guys try to deliberate with the monitor that can't understand you to try to catch some leeway for the dwarf, you start feeling the ground shaking.
Very convincing, Otto.
huh? That's not.
No, you haven't even done the dice.
So, as you feel the ground shaking, you just feel boom, boom, one stomp after another. You guys are trying to communicate with this Duragar, trying to get him free, trying to do things, and you just keep hearing the slamming of feet. As this is happening, this Kuatoa up here gets sucked into the water. You see a bunch of blood splurt up and vanish. Same with this one. Same with this one. They just start getting pulled into the water by something. Slowly but surely, as the stomping becomes closer and closer, echoing more and more, you start to see a couple of different heads coming out of the water. They start to become higher and higher and higher up, 30 feet into the air, water dripping out from his form, and what stands before you is the Demogorgon. As it steps on the land and slams down on Blipopod, annihilating her and turning into mist. She's gone.
Wait, you guys were just feeding this thing?
The Demogorgon steps forward. I know you're talking, but the Demogorgon steps forward and keeps blasting through, killing things. As you see giant tentacles lashing out, smacking things on the ground, and basically just killing them instantly before they had any time to react. Everyone is stunned for a couple of turns as the other Kuatoa are stuck on their knees just staring at this thing as it arches closer and closer to them and keeps going on spree and killing everything within its sight. Slamming down his tentacles, doing tons of damage.
I hope that's the sea, mommy.
Along with this, as you see its extremely long tentacles smacking down things, you see it hitting the different terrain, completely, utterly destroying it, and picking up all the different debris as it starts making its way through Sloop Ledoux, smashing and destroying everything. We are in a soft initiative. I'm not going to make you roll initiative. What do you guys want to do?
Rooney
fucking
steps
run.
over. Rooney steps over first to Floop Lapleen and asks, "Did you know about this?"
Right now, he is completely stunned in fear, along with all the other Kuatoa and others standing around. They are speechless right now. They are not listening to you. The only ones that seem to be able to react and move right now are you guys.
What about our party, or are they frozen, stunned?
They seem pretty stun-locked too, but it seems like they're ready to jet.
Yeah.
Then yeah, I'd kind of rush over, try and like wave or get their attention, and be like, "We're getting out of here right now. Follow us."
Shushar.
Wow.
What's that? Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You can resolve that first, dude.
Yeah, Shushar would snap out of it first to, suggesting that you get out. But yeah, we need to go to the docks to the west. Let us go. There's boats there. We need to run. And you'd see him start moving away.
All right.
I want to try to push this guy off of the Durgar and grab the Durgar.
Yeah, I was gonna slap the Duragar out of his stunned
Okay.
state if he was, and be like, "You're coming with us."
Yeah, you're pretty much able to effortlessly do that as he is completely stun locked. You're able to get the Duragar up to his feet, and he still staring at the Demogorgon, but he nods like, "Yeah, we got to go."
I would relay what Shushar told me about. We need to head west toward the docks.
Okay. And
Encourage the party to.
Jimjar, would snap out of it and would follow Shushar, as would Eldith. Stool. Don't know what you guys want to do with them.
I would put Stool back in my bucket and say, "We gotta go, buddy."
Alright. He grabs Stool. The Duragar finally comes to his senses and makes his way with you guys.
Are all of our companions good? We're able
Yeah.
to rouse them all. Okay.
Yep.
Just making sure.
Anything else as the Demogorgon keeps wreaking havoc on this town, killing everything in its way?
I'd give Poop Poop Pee Pee like one last shake to see if he's out of his stupor. But if he doesn't react immediately, then I'd probably just still go.
You just see him not even looking at the Demogorgon anymore, but the shattered remains of his daughter on the ground.
Shushar
just-
still with us?
And he's just on
He
his
left
knees.
first.
Okay.
Yeah, Shushar is guiding
wasn't-
you. Oh,
I wasn't sure if he would have been stunned like that, and I must have missed that.
Power
so
of atheism.
yeah, he nailed it. Pretty much, he's
Oh, because
Shushar doesn't believe in any of this. Like, not
True.
believe in it, but gods and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'll
He's a skeptic.
get my
Smart.
next music. You guys did that faster than I was expecting. That's fine.
We just run.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think that's the only
Right.
reasonable thing.
I just had music ready for if you wanted to continue there.
Nope.
It was good music, but
I'm
no.
Yeah, I'm glad you. I mean, you guys ended right when the music ended, so it's perfect.
Let me recite Pock Pock's flaw. I turn tail and run when things look bad.
That thing does look bad.
Otto, I thought you said there was no magic.
I'm
There
the
wasn't.
There never was any
Just
magic.
a real,
There isn't
just a
magic.
real Demogorgon.
You told me magic wasn't real.
That's not what I said.
Alright, getting the music switched.
I know the only issue with the bot is it's definitely slower to transition music.
Yep, but it's alright. So, get a second to deliberate what the fuck just happened. Alright.
Oh, I know.
Shit's fucked.
Ooh.
I have a feeling we're going to see that again.
Mhm.
Maybe.
I'm also revealing stuff on the map. So over here now. So over here now. This guy has entered the battle.
What? There's no battle. You run.
So you can hear in the background the slamming of tentacles and the cries of now the Kuatoa realizing that they are being completely overrun by this Demogorgon, this Nimugon, as it smashes its way through the town. You guys heeded the advice of Shushar to quickly head west, where he is making his way through the docks to the boats. NPCs are following Toe.
Damn right.
Yes, follow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Of course.
Okay. A turn back. So as they go, Shushar will flag down that, basically trying to say, like, we need to grab 2 boats for the amount of us. There's too many of us. And we'll motion for one of you guys to take that boat and stack it up. Shushar will get wide as fuck.
Whoa.
Now we need 3 boats.
Or long as fuck. And he will man a boat. A stool would be with you.
I'll steer.
As everyone begins trying to stack boats. Don't go by map grid for how big these are. You could probably fit like 5 to 6 people per, without issue. So,
How many people does Ront count as?
One.
Ront kind of wants to
It's
fight.
afraid of water. Oh.
He kind of has been. He keeps. He's kind of falling behind you guys. He keeps looking back at the Demogorgon walking through, and wants to. He doesn't want to run. He has a spear. Finally, he wants to poke some stuff. He keeps kind of deliberating about what he wants to do.
Run.
What I noticed, like, will we notice him doing that pretty plainly?
Yeah, after you guys start getting the boat, and you see him kind of standing behind, wanting to do his thing. Shushar would toss a rope over to you, Rooney, and would yell at you to tie it to the top of your boat. And,
Okie doke. I would take it and do so.
okay, and then he would pull the string of the boat over, basically connecting your boats, kind of just like a boat bus here.
Otto, were you gonna say something to Ron? If not, I was.
Just, Ron, don't even think about it.
He would kind of deliberate.
Ron, I
Go on.
see what you're doing.
Yeah, he would.
A glorious battle awaits you, but the glory means nothing if you cannot fight more. There will be more battles.
Then, as he's still deliberating, Shushar would start paddling the boat with the help of Eldith, and you guys would start moving along. Rotten would take his spear and he would chuck it.
You fuck!
And it wouldn't even get close and clang across the ground as the Demogorgon at this point.
Getting the boat.
At this point, the Demogorgon's deep into inland at this point. You see him walking around, smacking things. And Rot would just kind of shrug as you guys are making your way downtown. And he would run over to the end of the pier, dive into the water, and start swimming towards you.
Gets eaten by a big fish.
Oh, shit.
Is the ghost lady still on the shore?
She would be with probably
She's
closest to
floating
Otto. Yeah.
along.
She tries to stay around Otto because she likes his spell casting.
Ooh.
Ront would jump into the water and start swimming towards you guys. Get going as the
I'll
boat's
reach out, trying to
moving
get
forward.
him.
Yeah, I don't think I have a rope, or someone has a rope.
Yeah, someone does.
Actually, I probably still have a rope. Didn't I have a rope tied on
That's
me and
right.
I
We
just
just
held it?
determined that it was you that has the rope. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have 2 ropes now because I got some more rope.
And yeah, I'd kind of tie one into the boat and I'd chuck the other out toward Ront.
So he's swimming over. You throw the rope. He grabs onto it, and as soon as he grabs onto it, you see him kind of like squirm, and he's kind of looking around. And he's like, you just hear him like grunt.
Ront, what's
As
wrong?
and then
He's being eaten.
as he gets to
Right,
the
my friend?
rope, he starts tugging on it as he tries to start pulling towards himself towards the boat, and he's pulling so hard at this point that the boat starts actually going backwards
Oh
a bit.
god. Cut the rope!
I would,
Cut the rope back!
yeah, at this point, I would probably just be like, I'm sorry, Ront. And I would
Holy
pull out
shit.
my sword and
Don't apologize.
Cut
He
the
did
rope.
this to himself. He knows where he's at.
if
So
it looks like he's obviously getting pulled in, or at least that's what I would start to go do. If someone's wanted to do something.
basically, he's pulling the rope and he's moving towards you guys, but the force is so strong that it's kind of moving it together. But if you're gonna just cut the rope on him,
Is he being eaten? Is that what it looks like?
roll me perception.
Okay. I'm going to act without waiting to see what happens. Pock is just gonna cut the rope.
Well, I'm about to jump, so you see
Okay,
me about
well.
to jump into the water.
I don't see
Well,
that.
with Godam's perception roll,
20.
you do see a trail of blood very, very quickly following Ront as he is screaming in extreme pain, trying to swim through this water right now.
Following him or drifting behind him, you mean? Like
It's following him as he is moving with the rope guiding towards the boat. It is following him, and he is screaming more and more and more as you guys cut the rope from him, and and then now he's trying to swim towards you guys. He's able to grab on to the edge of the back of the boat, and he's trying to pull himself up, and he cannot get himself up alone. And
I
he's
reach and grab with all the 8 strength I have.
all right. So roll me a strength check.
If he's on like at the edge of the boat, I'd probably try and grab him too.
Okay, maybe do Beck with advantage then for a strength check. Oh, you already rolled, but go ahead and do a strength check too, Beck.
Yeah, just do another one, I guess, for advantage.
Your 14s.
what was that sound?
Yo.
I don't
Do you want me to roll or got him to roll again?
No, just you roll, Beck. Do a separate roll.
Oh, Jesus.
Jesus Christ.
I'm too scared.
All right, so you guys both
I mean,
try to
God,
get an arm
Leave
under.
there, got him. Please, no man behind.
Yeah, you guys both try
Got him,
to
got him.
grab this orc from underneath his, from his armpit, underneath his shoulder, trying to lift him up. Got him. You're feeling pretty good about it, and you're kind of overdoing it. And Beck's like, "Oh, I can't," and you're not able to get him picked up the first time. Roll me either one of you with advantage, or if you want to do 2 separate rolls again.
No, I teleport him on the boat. Done.
Boom.
Does that switch places with you?
No,
Oh, just moves in?
here, I'll click. Oops, wrong one. It's
Okay.
the right one. This right here. So when you use it, willing creature within 5 feet of you teleports instead of me, so it doesn't move me.
Okay.
Nice.
So as you guys are struggling and trying to lift him, he falls back into the water. He's screaming, he's crying, hollering, and just so much fucking blood is coming out of the water. It is drenching it. You guys are moving along somewhat, and Godam's like, all right, just get the fuck up here. You touch him or whatever. Is it you have to touch him or whatever, or is it just
Yeah, I caress him.
okay? You caress him under the chin, and he teleports to the boat. And once he pops into the boat, he's dead. Only thing you see on the boat is his torso up. You see the rest of his body, as you see his guts, his ribs, and his spine just kind of spill out from underneath him onto the
I
boat.
give Pock Pock a death stare.
I push him into the water. Not got him, but the body.
Not
I told you.
Roll me perception. Whoever sees the body goes into the water.
Yeah, I would be. Obviously.
Probably
Jesus
be watching
Christ, I'm
this.
too focused
I
on
just,
Pock Pock right now.
dang it! I don't have my cam. I just imagine when you say like you glare at him, Pock Pock just like stares back at you and just pushes him with one hand, like without looking.
Like the cat who stares as he
Yeah,
knocks the
good
glass
cat.
off.
Yep. So Pock Pock, as you you get different music now, I guess, because it wanted to stop playing. Apparently, I disabled the loop. Whatever. We'll just do some nice boat music. Alrighty. So yeah, Pock Pock, as you look into the water and just the blood-riddled corpse now into it, you do see tons of little fishes, piranha-type fish, eating away at the rest of the corpse extremely quickly. Just as fast as you dumped it into the water, it's already been devoured and gone, as you see pieces of rock just disappearing little by little until there's nothing left of him.
He was dead the moment he hesitated to get on this boat, and you all know it.
I want
I
to
know
throw a
nothing.
spear!
Rooney knows nothing because he wasn't really paying attention.
I was talking to you, Rooney.
What?
And then you
As soon as
guys...
you described that, I knew he was not gonna have legs.
Yep. Pretty obvious once you
I don't know.
the screaming and hollering. It's easy to throw piranhas in there. Yeah, you guys sail away into the dark lake. As you look behind you, you see smoke and destruction. Path of just complete destruction behind you that the Demogorgon is leaving behind as he marches his way through. Doop-a-doop. God damn it.
Oh, he's huge.
He is huge.
Oh.
You can't really see much anymore. You can still hear it very much so, just echoing throughout the entire cavern of the Dark Lake. But as you make your way through the Dark Lake, you start going around some bends, some stalactites, some stalagmites. Much like going into a more and more dense forest, but in this case it's a dense stalactites and stalagmites of a water, or of a lake. You eventually start heading through some pathways and things like that, as everyone is pretty silent at this point. They just, you're expecting to just simply stop a ritual from happening from a, I failed to.
Yeah, that definitely is not what I expected to happen. I was all ready to get a free crit on a paralyzed boss.
Yep.
Fucking sneak attack.
I was
know.
I was really
My name
curious
was on
if
that snipe
someone.
button.
I was really curious if someone was going to try to do something to the Demogorgon.
Fuck no.
Why?
Not that you necessarily know it's a Demogorgon, but I think
It's
it
a
must-
big spooky.
Yeah.
It's a big, huge monster, and I'm scared.
Yeah. Or
Beck probably would have thought it was like the Deep Father or something.
It's Cthulhu. Come for our children.
to give you a better description, was about 30 feet tall, if not taller. Hard to gauge. It had two heads, had two sets of eyes, just like any other human being. It was monstrous in nature, almost baboon-like in some cases, but just from being in the water and stuff, it just looked really wet and nasty looking. Its arms were long, barbed, double tentacles, basically, that it was smacking around onto the ground, while it had these two large feet stomping around. Basically much like its icon.
Oh.
look at it.
Show us.
Was it Shivzi?
Yeah.
There you go.
Big spooky.
Big baboon.
Monkey.
Monkey.
Yeah, it is kind of a monkey.
Yeah.
It is.
I actually
technically.
don't know what a Demogorgon actually is.
Yeah, I've heard the name, but I've never actually.
It's not the thing from Stranger Things.
I know it is, but I just mean like I haven't seen the character or the NPC sheet or anything like that in anything I've interacted with, so I legit don't know.
Yeah, that's actually why I removed the Audio Abyss like character screen has the Demogorgon on the front of it. I don't like
it does.
Yeah, and I don't like that because this is kind of like the point of the turning point. Yeah,
Well,
not necessarily
mean-
the turning point, but you know, is what it is.
Was that the big bad?
Is the big bad.
are we the baddies?
You're just
We're
trying not to
baddies.
die. Run. But anyways, you guys do travel through your boat. Pretty silent. No one's really talking or anything. Just all in shock and awe.
I'm
But
still
what-
staring at Puck Puck.
Yeah, what just happened? The things you saw.
What? What is your problem, got him?
You. We could have saved him.
Well, we didn't. What did you want me to do? I'm half your size. Tell me what.
Not cut the rope and pull.
Okay. I was not going to be much more effective than it already was. Why are you yelling at me? How about any of these other people here?
Leave no man behind.
If you say so.
We did our best. I think we did our
gained
best
one.
to save him.
Look, and he'll point to the dwarf.
Oh fuck! I forgot about him. I didn't put him on this map.
You didn't put him what?
I didn't put him on this map. It's fine though.
We're still on. Were we supposed to change maps?
No, you're still on the Slip-a-Doop one. So, I mean, to be 100% honest, we're gonna wrap up here. Shorter session.
Whoa!
Oh, well.
2-hour session.
Hell yeah. I mean, whatever. But
Yeah, I think that's just a
Yeah.
good point just to end it for this session. As the next session, you'll be going to the Dark Lake and dealing with its mysteries. And I just want to be able to have like a fresh start transition to that and not have to stop in the middle. Like I don't like how I had to stop in the middle for the Tomb of Kham, or Kham. So I want to make sure that I'd rather stop a little bit earlier than make you guys go hour and a half over or something like that.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, if there's still stuff you want to RP out between your characters, that's fine. It's just you'll be sailing on the Dark Lake for quite a bit of time. And Shushar would chime in on that, just to keep things going a little bit more. You would finally kick in and be like, well, what happened was not what I expected. We will still continue on with the promise of getting you to Greckelstug. And the Duragar will chime in and be like, oh, thank goodness, to Greckelstug.
Max just like holding his head as he's listening to Puck Puck and got him argue.
devolving into out of characters.
I don't even know what they're arguing about. Something with the orc? What did you guys do to him?
What if we were all pulled under?
I wouldn't. I'm on the other boat.
I'm talking to Gotham.
Hey, piranhas? Are you afraid of piranhas pulling the boat in?
How do you know it's piranhas? Did you feel the boat being pulled back? We don't know that that was him. We don't even know that the piranhas were what ate him. We saw that's what ate him at the end. What if there's another of those big baboons?
Could have done more
Boots.
instead of effectively killing him.
I did no such thing. You can't put this on me, and I will feel no guilt for such a thing.
Yeah. But either way, Shushar would say that he would still honor, despite what happened there, getting you guys to Grapplestug. That I need to warn those of the Great Falls that Sloopadoop may have been overrun.
So where exactly are we going now?
To, I guess Jim Jar. No, I guess Hemeth would actually chime in. So Hemeth,
What the fuck?
the dwarf man, would chime in. You guys are going to Gracklestug? Oh, thank goodness.
Ah, yes, thank goodness.
So that is my. I see you're not from around here.
Gave it
Some of
away.
you.
I am Gotham, and who are you, kind sir?
Hi, my name is Hemeth. I am born and raised in Gracklestug. I was on a small little expedition for some small trade in Sloopadoop here, as per usual, but something changed, and next thing I knew, I was ready to be sacrificed, and I am not fully healed. I am hurt. Here we go.
I think he's asking for healing, guys.
No, it's fine.
I know, I'm just kidding.
I will drink the water of the dark lake and feel healed to the full.
Oh,
That can't.
I don't believe you.
That can't be true.
I don't believe
Yeah,
it.
I just
water.
digest. Don't do that. You'll get your hand bitten off.
Bruni, hands in the boat. Or talons in the boat.
And then Hemeth would chime in. So, what brings you to Gracklestug?
Desperation.
Oh, really?
I think we're all just looking for a way out of the Underdark. Nowhere else. No other leads.
So, not too sure how much information you'll get from them. They're pretty much stick only with the Durgar. And if you try to wander too far out from the docks, they might not be so nice to you. Jim Jar from the other boat would chime in. Like, well, be nice if we could all get properly equipped. Maybe get some better armors, leathers. Right now, we're just kind of walking around in ratty clothes, speaking for the NPCs. That's the only thing I could think of. Is we get some better gear, better equipment, get restocked on our lockpicks and components and whatnot. I have an idea for possibly helping these guys get out of the Underdark, but we need to make sure we're properly equipped before we do that.
What is that idea of yours?
I was gonna hold this for after, or maybe, while we're in Gracklestag, but I'm from an expedition team that does dealings with the surface. Now, me specifically, I don't go to the surface, but my people do. Reason why I got captured in the first place is we were scouting out to see if it was safe to retake our home, Blingdenstone. Unfortunately, the small team we had was quickly taken care of by a group of drow, where I was captured, and hey, here we are now. But long story short, if we can get me, this team, back to Blingdenstone, I may be able to get you guys to the surface again. But that is a long way away from where we're at now.
Well, even if it's a long way, it's the closest we've heard about getting out of here.
sorry for not telling you earlier. I didn't want to get your hopes up, as I don't want you guys to run headlong what you think is, safety and security of your homeland. You need to first traverse this hellhole. You need to be properly equipped for it.
And this was Jim Jar saying this?
Yeah. That's me.
All right.
Interesting.
You want to insight check him?
Yeah.
Go ahead. He's been pretty cool with you guys. Yeah. He seems like he's saying he's truthful. Even him saying he didn't want to necessarily deceive you guys, you see truth in that. It was just kind of for like the greater good. Telling someone, oh, I know the way out of here, and then running headlong into that, he does not believe is the right strategy. Which is why he kept it a secret. Or not a secret, but, stretched his own truth. I still stand by it. We make our way to Gracklestug. And honestly, Hemeth, if you can, I know things in Gracklestug are a bit shaky. As far as with, Deep Gnomes barely get any kind of recognition there. I can't imagine anyone else. Drow somewhat get led around. But Hemeth, if you can get us some kind of, free pass to at least go to the merchants, get some stock, get some items, and then get on our way, I think that would be for the best. You think you could do that for us? Hemeth would chime back in. I mean, you saved my life. I can't deny that. As long as we can get this safe passage back to Gracklestug, it's the least I could do. I know a few people. Even if you can't get immediate access to the Merchants District, I'm sure we could strike up a couple of deals around the black market. As, fortunately, I myself am not too desired due to my willingness to trade outside of Gracklestug.
You live on the second floor. I see.
I live between the docks and the mainland. There's a reason for that. I'll fill you in on that at the very least. If you guys are to get to Gracklestug, you must remain on the docks. Or at least until I'm able to get you granted passage deeper into Gracklestug. It is the only place where foreigners as yourself are welcome. And by welcome, he kind of shakes his head. I very, very loosely say welcome.
Tolerated?
Welcomed, but not.
Get mixed messages.
Sure. If we just, talk to them, we could make our way through.
We're gonna talk to those piranhas?
Yeah, what the fuck?
On it.
Dude, I was like 50-50. Is he going to try to talk to the Demogorgon?
Oh, no.
So,
I was waiting for
recruits
it.
him.
Alright, so this is sort of meta, but you tell me next. So, when he says that, I summon my hand, my mage hand, and I go to slap/push him. Did we just level?
We haven't rested yet.
True. So yes,
That is true.
you are leveling up to level 4.
Pug.
So,
that'll actually get a
up to
reminder.
you,
I almost
but I
forgot.
would also try to then push him with the hand.
Push Pock.
Yes,
Trying to push him off the boat, or just push
off
him?
the boat.
What the?
Well, no. So hold on. This is the whole part of like the whole RP background with the mage hand, where it wasn't necessarily trying to like push, but like it was sort of just a gesture of like swatting, but with this ability it pushes or pulls. But in this case, would be pushing. So it'd be me sort of not knowingly doing it, but doing it.
I gotcha. Okay. Yep. You summon your mage hand and you go just to swat at him with it, just for a little fuck you, and you push him.
We haven't rested yet.
Make a
No,
dexterity
okay.
save.
No, it would be a it's a strength save. It's gonna
Oh.
be a DC equal to my modifier, so which would be
Negative.
it'd be 13.
All right. Well, I have a -1.
All right. You
Are
are.
you gonna kill me?
So it would push him off the boat.
Do you have a tail?
Yeah.
All right. You're hanging off the side of the boat. Your feet aren't touching the water, but your tail's in the water, and you start to feel some pain. Roll me a 2d6.
I would immediately go to grab him after realizing what just happened.
You take 6 damage as you feel your tail getting chewed on.
All right, Mr. Peace-loving hippie. I'll remember that.
Got him. You're a little surprised that
You're
you're a little surprised that your mage hand was actually able to connect.
I look at Rudy. I was like, it happened again.
When
That's up
kinda like-
Hawk comes out of the water, does he shoes on his tail?
No, there's no fish on his tail. It's a bit chewed up. You can kind of see some bone. Could probably use a little bit of healing.
I go to the other boat and just start to like nurse my tail.
Kind of like just like glare at Gotham, like
You guys are
that
tell each
far.
other.
I half shrug, half like not sure what just happened. I say I've seen that happen once before, but
Beck now wants to test if you can shield bash Gotham off the boat.
Yeah, I picked shield mastery just now, and
Alright. I was trying to figure out if I wanted the dancing lights to like fucking just fully illuminate the fucking Demogorgon underneath the water as it was coming up or not.
Holy shit.
But I already kind of had the whole scenario
all
in my
planned.
head.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
And I had a minute to say everything I needed to say before the music had like it like drop. So I was just
Yeah,
like,
I've had to do that. Where it's like you have to have the speech prepared.
yeah.
so that was like the
Um,
only reason I didn't include it because I just ran out of time.
Are we, question for going into next session, with this level up, are we gonna, with how long we're on the boat, are we effectively gonna be long resting to start next session?
Yeah, you can strongly
Okay.
assume that.
And we roll our HP, but if it's below average, we take the average. Is that correct? Was that what it
Correct.
was?
Yep.
Really?
I think so. So like,
Oh, I didn't realize we could do that.
That's what he.
I think it was
said
in my
we could
rule
do.
set.
I just been taking average every time.
Wait,
we'll just-
you can roll, but if you
So
get
you
below
roll
average,
it.
you get average. So
Yes.
there's no reason not to roll.
That's exactly. You just roll, and if you roll poorly,
You take the average.
you just take the average. That way, no one's like fucked for rolling ones every level.
Oh.
But
Could
it's just
I
bonus.
roll my past hip levels?
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Because I've never done that.
I don't know how hard it would be to switch.
I mean, it's just I got 5 from my previous levels, so anything above 5, if I do, would be
Yeah, that's fine.
a
If you
benefit.
didn't do that, it's fine.
That is interesting. Okay, yeah, sorry I missed that.
It just makes you a
How do
little bit more
you-
beefier without feeling like you're gonna get shit on.
How are you guys rolling for hit points, by the way?
There's a little button when you're leveling up that does, it says roll and average. You can click.
Oh, I had to do custom because of my subclass, I think. See if it
Well,
works.
damn it! Now I have to actually decide what I'm doing for this level.
hit points usually works for me, but then yeah, I always have to like manually add my subclass stuff. But yeah, I just hit the roll button.
Before you guys make hard decisions, it'd probably be good to know how long it's going to take to get to Grackle Stud. And I assume it'd come in conversation some point within the multiple hours you'll be sailing. Shushar or Hemeth would probably chime in and be like, this trip can, depending on the navigator, can take a 10-day to 10 days.
Question about multi-classing,
What?
because I might be multi-classing, and it's more. It's not a question like about. Sorry, let me just ask a question. Rolling HP. Do I take my rogue HP or do I take the fighter HP? Because that's how I'm already multi-classing. Would I take fighter for this level? Because it's technically what I'm putting the level into.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I will.
Yeah. If you didn't hear me there, it can take between a 10-day and 10 days to get Gracklestug by build.
Oh, big.
So if you're planning ahead for the long trip here, maybe, you know, whatever is best for a long boat trip.
I picked what's best for a long boat trip for me.
Mariner, whatever the fuck it was called. I don't know what you're doing.
Mariner.
Mariner?
Yeah, I think.
Immune to piranhas.
I get a swim speed equal to my move speed.
His tail can now be used as a fishing device.
Hell yeah. So I'm gonna. It's not in here by default, so I'm gonna take Great Weapon Fighting because that will never come into play. Ever. Alright. Oh, fuck. Wait.
But yeah, that will be it. I won't go into any more details or RP or anything like that, so if you guys need to go or anything, you're free.